My media studies senior thesis project is concerned with storytelling. I grew up hearing and believing in stories. I am specifically curious about where we draw the line between fact, story, and lie. How does the way we tell a story change the way we see it, trust it, remember it? And in order to deconstruct this relationship between form and content in storytelling, my thesis project tells one story through 3 different medium: comic, text, and film. Each of these medium carry their own associations with truth. My thesis project aims to subvert those expectations. Thus, in reconsidering the reliability of certain media, we might re-examine the role that trust plays in the creation and treatment of personal narrative. Which brings me to the part of my thesis that I did not really see coming, the personal part. Because after deciding to tell one story 3 ways, I also decided that it should be a personal story. To continue the conversation on formal trust, and also the common packaging of first-person female narrator as the unreliable narrator. Plus, the story I chose is based off of my own memories from a time that I wasn't believed or in control of the narrative. It's a story that I had not really spent that much time with. Turns out hadn't really even processed. So that was neat. It is the story of my middle school sexting scandal.
In 8th grade, I had just gotten braces, had not gotten my period, and was about to get in a lot of trouble.
So I kind of went from having never talked about that chapter to sharing it in as many ways as possible. The written embodiment of this project is formatted to look like an American history textbook. When I open a textbook, I don't question what's on the page. Words on a textbook page equal fact. I wanted to create a textual environment in which my story might be imbued with the same trust that we bestow upon textbooks. As such, I put in familiar formats like table of contents, keywords, did you know, timeline, etc., etc. I also fluctuated between sort of formal tone and also language that my 8th grade self might use, and observations that a younger Lena was making. In this form, I also include sort of a cultural context of the time, 2010, both in tech and pop culture. The story in video form aims to do something similar to the textbook by subverting a filmic genre often associated with objectivity, documentary. This can be seen through elements like the British voiceover and the historical reenactment section of the film.
The scene you're about to see actually happened. This story is 100% factual, and while all digital records of this event were deleted upon parental discovery, every line is based off of the most factual of memories.
Lena, is there something you need to tell me?
Dad, what's up? Am I in trouble?
School called. Honestly, Lena, I'm not even sure what to say to you.
What's up, Dad?
Both of these sections were supposed to be performed sort of poorly on purpose, and while that may seem like a cop-out, I wanted the viewer to remain unconvinced in the scenes structured after non-fictional film. And the other scenes feature me and my dad on a real FaceTime call. I wanted to insert a FaceTime recording when telling a story that was caused by its digital predecessor. Last but certainly not least, this story was told in comic form. I wanted to play with expectations of this medium by maintaining the humorous levity often associated with comics, while relaying a story that carries darker implications. Of the 3 forms, a comic book is the least likely to register immediate reliability. But I think I actually found the sentiment conveyed by the autographic form to be the closest representation of what still resonates with my emotional memory. In this sense, I see the comic as an incredibly reliable form of expression. Now, did I produce exactly what I had intended on creating? No. Did I budget well for time? No. Does this video presentation accurately represent my senior thesis project? Probably not. But did I become totally engrossed in a topic that I find indefinitely interesting and am excited to continue exploring in the future? And also work through some repressed stuff from yesteryear? For sure. Outside of that personal accomplishment, I hope that this project inspires others to consider truth and fiction, content and form, and the way we shape the stories that shape our lives.